Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So today we're going to have a test of the Dmond, and this one is the, if I can remember the model number, DBS5084V. So 8.4 volt, this is meant to produce 50 kilograms of torque. It will run at both 7.4 and 6 volt, so we'll try it at that so you can get an idea of what sort of power you get out of this servo. Now, I have been running it in the X-Ray XT8E22, and it was absolutely fantastic in that. Faultless servo, really fast, and did have quite a number of end-to-end crashes on it, so never let go. The servo horn didn't come loose, the threads haven't come out of the holding servo horn. So, it's been an impressive servo, but do the figures match up to what it's advertised as? So, let's take a look. Right, so first off we've got it set at 8.4 volt, but as the Hobbywings UBC decides 8.4 is 8.24, and we're actually getting 8.1 down at the servo board, so let's run some tests and see what we get. And with the way it's bending that bracket round, I'm really not surprised at the average on this one. So it's getting slightly less voltage than what it should be. It should get 8.4 and it's only getting 8.1. And over 10 pulls we are averaging 50.5 kilograms of torque. And up to now this is the only servo that's managed to actually make this rig flex. So that's quite impressive. Now let's drop the voltage down to 7.4 and see what we get at that. So that's going to make us 6 volt. That's as close as we're going to get to 7.4. So we'll reset. And we'll go for 10 pulls, and this is getting 7.2 volt. So 7.2 volt, we've really not lost a deal of torque. We're still getting 49.9 kilograms. So we'll drop it down to 6 volt and see what we get at that. Right. So 6 volt. So we're averaging 41 kilograms at 6 volt. So quite an impressive servo, and there's basically no heat generated at that, which has really surprised me for the power it will put in out. So just for my own curiosity, let's run it back at 7.4 again, see what we get. So, yep, even after 3 lots of tests, 7.4, well, 7.2 volt, because that's all the BEC will give it, we're still only getting, we're still getting 47.7 kilograms of torque. So, yeah, it says monster killer servo. I'll give it that. Now, for the For the questionable advertising of the DBS5084V that said brushless and it wasn't, but the performance were good, I will take the bottom off this and see if we have actually got a brushless motor in it. But so far, I really can't fault the performance of this servo. It's fast, it's at least as strong as what it's advertised at, and what we're pulling. So even at 8.4 volt, we're still only pulling around about maybe 6 amp, 5 amp, 6 ampish. So it's not pulling anywhere near the power that this UBC can give out. But let's just drop the bottom off it and see what's going on inside. See if we've either got a repeat of the DBS40, or see if this actually looks like a brushless setup. I am really surprised how quiet these are compared to Savox, and they've certainly got Savox well and truly beat on the power output. Now we do have a small weather seal around the bottom, even though these aren't advertised as waterproof, or this one wasn't when I bought it. So I'll just put that to one side. Now we do have a small pad on here. Let's see if we can get this removed. Now that to me doesn't look like the setup I'd expect to see in a brushless servo. It looks like we've just got two poles. So whether that's brushed coreless or whatever setup they're using in this, it also doesn't look like how they've got it advertised with the Futaba top chips. So still questioning whether the Dmond are actually using brushless motors, but whatever motors they are doing, they don't get hot, they're blisteringly fast, and as you've seen on this, they've got some power, a heck of a lot of power. So for the price of this servo, I'm still questioning the advertising, but the actual performance of the servos for the price is incredible. So let's get to conclusion. Right, conclusion time. Whether or not this servo's brushless, without stripping it down and breaking the servo, I can't tell you for certain. The fact that I can only see two big poles in there would suggest to me that, again, it's a coreless servo. More questionable is the insides of this servo that I've bought using my own money. It's not what I've been sent. And I bought it, and the insides of this don't look like the insides of, let's see if I can get a screenshot and put it round here somewhere. Don't exactly look the same as that, do they? But one thing I can't fault, it was less than £50 delivered. The performance of it outperforms, let's have a look. It certainly hands the Savox SB2292SG. It hands its arse to this servo. It's every bit as fast. It's a lot quieter. It gets far less heat build up over time than what this does. And it is remarkably more powerful. So your question is it, bearing in mind these are £216, these are about 47 delivered. So you can buy 2 of these and probably a spare gear set for the price of 1 of these. And it's entirely up to you if the brushless motor means that much to you. Now, I will, and I'd love for somebody from Dmond to comment on this, whether they've changed these to actually be brushless, because it's advertised as brushless. It says so on the side. I've not seen a brushless motor in there. But marketing aside, for the performance of this servo for the price, it is fantastic. We've not had one of these fail on us. On this test rig, it is moving over 90 degrees to a complete hard stop, which is incredibly hard on a servo, and the more powerful the servo is, the more force it's putting on its gears and everything. Didn't even get warm. So I did 3 tests as I normally do, and then went back and tested the 7.4 volt again, because I was surprised it just didn't get warm. And even when I took the bottom cover off and I was picking the little pad off, there's not any heat build up in it. So marketing aside, it's an incredibly good servo. Now, a coreless design is not necessarily worse than a brushless. Yes, you've got the brushes that can wear, but you very rarely get that in a servo. But the coreless design of a coreless motor means it's much faster to react than a brushless or a brushed. So it's only really the longevity of the brushes that had come into play. But bearing in mind, you can have 2 of these for the price of 1 of these. I do love Savox servos, but my God, they're bloody noisy and they're expensive. More to the point, if you're using it in a basher where you're going to put enough stress on these servos to break this one or this one, you can have 2 of these for the price of 1. You do get a proper brushless motor in this. This is questionable. I believe these are coreless. The way they don't heat up as much and the speed that they react at, I tend to lean towards this being a coreless design, although I can't see the other side of the circuit board. So if somebody from Dmond can give us an exploded diagram of it and prove one way or the other, I'm open to that. Otherwise, take the brushless off the bloody side of it, because you've got a fantastically well priced, fantastic performance servo. But as always, thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Share to friends and family or anybody else you might find this useful. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.